Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, the 25th of July. It's 67 degrees here in Hampstead. Feels very nice outside. We have we've got 3 deliveries today. But I'm gonna have to come back for the third. We've got a special guest star. You know what? Let's go in there. Let me get Rosie going here real quick.
Connected to YouTube live stream 4DDJEH2AWGW. Connected to YouTube live stream 4DDJEH2AWGW.
She came in hot and heavy. All right, let's just run in there real quick and say hi, because we got a special guest star making the donuts today. All right. So we'll just do a quick. All right. Huh? All right, so we're just coming in to see the special guest star today.
Guest star.
Oh my God. There she is.
Hi, everyone. If I look tired, I was called at 1:30 in the morning to see if I could do donuts.
So Janet is making the donuts today.
I've never done this before.
There they go.
Which clearly...
We got, look at the drizzle action going on there. The drizzle. All right, guys.
Amateur hour.
Yeah, I forgot your donuts. There you go.
You forgot my donuts? Oh, really?
Well, I'm a little preoccupied.
Yeah, I should have caught that too. All right, well, I'll get a tray. Huh? All right, let me put you back. You forgot this. That's 3 more donuts Janet's got to make. All right. Hang on, I'm going to put you in here for a second, and then we're going to hit the road. Bob, I got this. Yeah. Look, he's even got 3 spots right there. Perfect. All right. It's 3 more donuts you need to make, Janet.
Probably about 50 more donuts.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Is that gonna be right? There we go. Let's do that. All right, folks, here we go. Let's get set up here. So, we are leaving now. Let me explain as we get going. Lights are on, seat belts on. Let's get out and pursue some happiness on this pleasant Saturday morning. I think I like the camera like that, I think. I never know. Anyway, if you're watching and things look squishy, let me know. If you're watching the replay, though, it isn't going to help. All right, let's hit the road. So, we've got 3 deliveries today. Normally on Saturdays, we only have 2. We usually have Lenny's and WhatADay. But today we have Gourmet Girls also. They had an order they needed us to drop off this morning. They're very close to Lenny, so it's not really that big a deal. But what's going to happen is, why is it so dark? It looks really dark, doesn't it? Jeez. Bear with me a second here. So, Lenny's has a pretty good sized delivery. Their Saturday delivery is always pretty decent. I think we've got 60 chocolate top cookies, 39 Danish, a large rainbow cake. What else? I'm just thinking. A couple apple turnovers, an apple fritter. So they got their normal, kind of on the heavier side, but they've got a normal delivery. Gourmet Girls, we got to drop off a couple boxes for them. They've got some gluten-free candies and chocolate top cookies that they needed. We got some peach cakes, and some brownie. Similar brownie. So we've got that. It's going to Gourmet Girls, and then we're going to come back for WhatADay. WhatADay's got a pretty good sized delivery, and Jennifer couldn't make it in today, so Janet is making the donuts, ladies and gentlemen. It seems really dark today. What is going on? That's weird. I've been having, I think I must be allergic to something. And it's only affecting the left side of my face. Did you ever have that thing where like your nose kind of like itches and it wants to run, but it's just like, but it's only one side of my face. My left side. My right side is fine. So this particular allergy is only affecting the left side of my head. And it seems to only happen like early. Like it eventually goes away as the day goes on. But enough about me. So I hope everybody's doing well on this delightful Saturday morning. Coffee's good. It's my first drink of coffee. Oh, that was a raccoon. Did you see that little raccoon? He was sitting in the middle of the road, and then he saw me coming last minute. But he made it. He made it. I'm not using my high beams because I'm holding my coffee. See, this is why I'm not a high beam person. But I should be. On the way up, I saw a deer on 795. There was a deer like just hanging out in the median now. It wasn't on the side of the road. He was in the middle of the road. I guess we'll go down 795. That's a good way to go. 5:15 now. So we're a little ahead of schedule, but we are going to have to go back to the bakery for WhatADay's delivery. We got to pick it up and then head over there. And I also have to get gas today. We should have, I'm at a quarter tank, so I think we should have enough to get. I noticed the gas went down again a little bit. I think we were like at 429. I saw some prices in the 420, 430 range over the past few days. And this morning, one station I passed was 404. So it bounces around so much. I mean, it bounces, it doesn't change by a few cents or nickel. It's usually changing by like 20 cents when you see it change. Yeah. So that station right there is, so yeah, down about 20 cents overnight. But, whoa, I don't know what that is. I think it was just a box. but I don't know. I don't know. So I was thinking about going to the Carnival last night, but I fell asleep. I couldn't take a nap yesterday, which I'm kind of glad. I like it when I sleep just a solid night sleep. But wait a minute, I got up at, why did I get up? I don't know. I woke up at some time during the night and I saw it was raining down in North Carolina. I only know that because I looked at John's live stream for a second on TV. But I didn't stay up very long. We didn't get any rain last night. Wow, so I'm looking at a sign right now that says the Mega Millions is 800 million and the Powerball is 600 million. That's interesting because they're both on the even number like that. 800 and 600? It's kind of unusual.
Donna says, morning, Craig.
Good morning, Donna. Happy Saturday. Look at this guy. What this guy thinks he's doing. I'm not going to let this guy in. Happy Saturday. So we got a couple things going on today. We did.
NQ7L says, good morning. I am a high beam guy.
You're a
now Donna
you're
says,
a high beam guy. I'm more of a high beam guy person now than I was before. Because I did hit a deer last year. In November last year, I hit a deer. I don't know that high beams would have helped me. It was like a herd was running across the street. I say herd. It wasn't really a herd. It was like 4 deer running across the street at the same time. And I hit the third. I do appreciate high beams. And it seems really dark. Like, I don't know why. I think Donna mentioned it yesterday, but it's like, it seems like it went from 5 o'clock, the sun was starting to come up at 5 o'clock. And I know the days are getting shorter, but it seemed to happen very quickly. Like I'm back at night. We did wake up a raccoon that was sitting in the middle of the road. He ran off just in time this morning. Speaking of animals, so yesterday I saw a replay of Dana.
Donna says think it is even darker this morning.
I know.
Mountain Man Q7L says really gives meaning to deer caught in the headlights.
Yeah. Well, see, that's one of the reasons I didn't use high beams in the past, was because I was told years ago that if you have your high beams on, they will see your high beams and they'll just freeze in the road. So I thought, now I've since changed my mind, but for a while I thought that you were going to make the situation worse if you had high beams on. I don't believe that anymore, but that was the bad information I was using when I was not a high beam person. I watched Dana's, has anybody seen Dana the DoorDasher? And she's got she was testing a new camera setup. I think she's using OBS, is that what it's called? She's using like a broadcasting thing so that she can put some statistics on the screen. I think she has the total, the number of dashes, total dollar amount. But then what I liked was she has the deer count, like how many deer she's seen. She was only testing it. I don't know whether she's going to use it. I don't think she was real happy with the result on that first test. But I thought it was funny that she's going to have the deer count on her screen. That's kind of clever. I wasn't watching her live, I was watching the replay, and it's only like a half an hour long. I think she had done it the night before. Mountain Man, I saw John for a second last night. It was raining. I don't think we got any rain last night, but he was driving through rain again last night. Or maybe it was when I woke up. I don't know. I'm very confused. I don't know what I was watching when. Last night's kind of a blur. For some reason, I don't remember when I woke up, and I remember that I saw John sitting in his car and it was raining. But that may have been right before I woke up. Because he usually finishes his live stream right before I wake up. Like 2:30 in the morning. So he ends like between, oh, come on, let's make this light. Let's make this light, everybody. Let's do it.
Short Gal says good morning. Mountain Man Q7L says yep, we had shower most of the day.
Yeah, we lucked out yesterday. We didn't get any rain. Of course, I think you can use the rain. New York gal, how are you doing? Happy Saturday. It's Saturday, right? Yeah.
Short Gal says tired, working long.
This is toward the end of your working day, right?
Short Gal says about to eat some Greek strawberry yogurt. Off at 9.
That sounds good. I like Greek yogurt.
Gal says the triple thick Greek yogurt is the best.
What do I use? I've been buying, I think it's Walmart's brand. I get vanilla and then I mix stuff in with it. So we have 3 deliveries today.
Gal says, how is your morning? Good morning, chat.
It's good. Morning's good. It's a little different for a Saturday. So today, we would have 2 deliveries. We'd have Lenny's and WhatADay. But we have Gourmet girls. They had a couple things they needed today. So I've got to drop a couple boxes off at Gourmet girls. It looked like they wanted their gluten-free order. So they've got like, I forget how many, but they've got a lot of gluten-free peanut butter candies and gluten-free chocolate top cookies. And then I think they also got some peach cakes and brownies. But we also have a situation with the WhatADay has a pretty good sized order today, and Jennifer wasn't able to come in today, so Janet is filling in and making the donuts, and so we're giving her a little time to finish up with the donuts. So I'm going to Lenny's delivery and Gourmet girls, and then we're going to go back to the bakery and pick up WhatADay and head over there. And then after WhatADay, I do have to get gas, so we got a few things going on this morning. But other than that, the day's pretty good. I mean, the morning is going pretty good. I did stop in the bakery. I walked in the bakery this morning to show you guys that Janet was making the donuts. So if you look at the beginning of the stream,
Lord Gal says, oh nice. You should film how to make a donut.
you can see Janet at the beginning of this live stream. I walked into the bakery just to show that Janet was making the donuts, and you can see her drizzling. I think she's drizzling chocolate on the strawberry donuts. But yeah, she has 162 donuts for WhatADay, and then I don't know how many they're making for the bakery today. fly up off the road. Did you guys see something on the on the right-hand side of the van? I don't know what it was.
There's 007 says, morning Craig, hope you're well. Here in the UK it has not rained in 2 months, seems like a drought here as we have had constant temperatures over 85 degrees.
Jeez, that's a long time without rain. Still? Yeah, I know you've had some pretty hot temperatures over there. We've had a decent amount of rain lately, but we did go through a dry spell. I mean, I think there are some areas that are pretty low.
There's 007 says, I just checked that a big whiteboard flew up.
Oh, it wasn't. Well, I thought I saw something out of this. Like, I wasn't looking in that direction, but it just sort of got my peripheral vision. This has been an exciting ride so far. Had a raccoon run in front of me. There was a giant box in the road. I don't know what was in the box, but we didn't hit it. Lenny's? Yeah, we'll go to Lenny's first. And then we'll come down here, drop off Gourmet Girls, and head back to the bakery.
There's 007 says, lucky it missed your van and yeah, hoping for rain here as the bees are all dying and flowers are not opening up.
Yeah, that's not good.
Chris Ayers 007 says, at New York, hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, we've had some rain recently, but for a while we were getting thunderstorms, so they weren't really helping fill up the water, like the lakes, reservoirs and such. I think Mountain Man said, now he's in North Carolina, but I think Mountain Man said they were like 13.
George Gal says, good morning, Chris.
12
Chris Ayers 007
inches
says, at New York, cheers, hope your weekend is a good one.
Below the norm. I don't know what it's like in Maryland. Weird thing is, we're getting cooler weather now. Like, it's 67 degrees here. Yesterday, I think it hit 80. I think we got like into the low 80s, but that's very cool for us. Like the last 2 or 3 days have been really pleasant in Maryland. Not very hot, not as humid as it gets sometimes.
There's 007 says, I've seen those lines in the sky again, so expecting rain, as I noticed when they stopped for the last 14 days there was 0 clouds in the sky, so weird.
Huh. So the only kind of cloud you get are the jet trails. They can make up a cloud sometimes. It can look like a cloud. Oh no, you know what I watched yesterday that I forgot about this. So last night I watched or I guess it was as I was going to bed, the SpaceX launch. They shot up another rocket. They're always kind of cool to watch. All right, let me go grab the rack. 5:30. Good morning.
Morning, morning.
How are you? Saw me coming.
Yeah, so you coming.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. I saw you coming. I said, I don't know if you're ready to come in yet.
I was. I saw you in the doorway. I'm like, I gotta get up there. Still nice out.
Yeah, but it's chilling a little bit.
Yeah, it is. I think that's very interesting. It is. It's 800 million for one of them and 600 million for the other. I just think it's weird that they both landed exactly on the even 100 million. Okay, let's unload these. Our first batch. All right, sign is still out. I don't see, oh, there's the van. The van's all the way over there now. We still got plastic on the window. Boop. Oops, come on, there we go. All right. Here's our miscellaneous. We've got a couple of croissants, apple turnover. No, 2 apple turnovers, 1 apple fritter, and then a few donuts. Here come the cookies. I think we have 60 cookies, 39 Danish, 60 chocolate top cookies. So there's our first one. There. There's the rest of the chocolate top cookies. And the black and white cookies. So there we got the chocolate top cookies and the black and white cookies. Black and white on the left. Or the right. Maybe it's the right for you. I never know with these, the way it looks in this camera. Danish. How many did I say? 39, right? So there were 3 Danish on there. And then we got 3 of these. Danish. Yeah, we're gonna go. This one, we gotta do 2 for this one because the cake. Gotta leave room. Gotta leave room for the cake.
Black and white cookies.
What is that? Trying to see. I heard a question. Let me see. I almost guessed that was you, Holla. Because I heard the word black and white cookies, or the words. I'm like, that's either a question about black and white cookies, or it's Holla. Here we go. Did you notice that the Mega Millions and the Powerball are both like even 100 million?
They even
Like one says 800 million, one had three. It's 800 and 600, but it's they're both like right on the
close.
yeah.
That they make a competition.
Yeah,
And nobody get it yet.
I know. They keep going.
That's very good.
I don't play until it hits $1 billion. All right. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Trays. All right, so we got a couple of boxes for the girls. Gourmet girls. Let's pop you over there. Boom. See, I slammed that in it. Okay. Remember how I told you I was getting good at closing the door? I was wrong. All right. So last night I watched that launch where they shoot the thing, and it was only a test. It's just they're testing it out. I think this is like the 13th. I think that was the 13th test. All right, let's go out this way. Now if she's not there when we get to Gourmet Girls, I'm gonna leave these two boxes because I kind of want to get back to the bakery and get to WhatADay. I'm gonna leave them in the there's a mystery bag. Here it is. All right, let's go, let's do this.
There's 007 says good idea.
Well, the lady that works there in the morning usually gets there around 6 o'clock a.m. So that's 15 minutes from now.
Now Holla says hello, Chris.
Yeah, 67 degrees.
There's 007 says at Holla 6,448. Here's GTS watch.
Did anybody see Dana the DoorDasher, her test?
There's 007
Video.
says I figured out another reason for droughts worldwide, Craig. Data centers use so much water, those places need closing down.
Well, yeah. I'm going. Well, yeah, but the data center wouldn't stop it from raining. It might use the water up. If it's true, they would use the water up after it rains, right? I don't know if they would stop it from raining now. know what I mean? And, oh, she's there. She's there. She's there. That's, oh, look at her. She's like, what? What are you doing here? Why are you? Oh, good. She just got out of her jar. So this will only take us a second.
There's 007 says I watch Dana now and again. Hope she's doing okay.
She's doing good. I'm wondering, I saw her yesterday. She did she was testing. Look, I'm not going to go all the way back. She was testing a new camera setup, and I was wondering if you guys saw that. It was like a 30, I didn't see her live. I saw a replay. All right, let me go. I'm going to go in. I know. I've got some gluten-free stuff. Oh. Oops, sorry. I think I hit the microphone with it. All right. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. All right, well, have a good weekend. Good morning. See that door? I know, you guys are tired of me complaining about the door. I know, I know. All right. So 2 deliveries are down. So really the only thing we got left to do now is WhatADay, but we got to head back to the bakery to pick that up. And then we're going to stop. We just stop and get gas on the way back from WhatADay. And it's Saturday, so Crystal will not be at the gas station today. Get back on the highway and head back to the bakery. This is good because usually my goal when we have to go back to the bakery to pick up WhatADay's donuts and pastries, I'd like that. I like to be I like to be leaving the bakery and headed over to WhatADay by like 6:30. Earlier if possible, but no later than 6:30. So we should be okay with that, as long as the donuts are done. Janet is making the donuts today, though. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, you know, it might take her a little bit longer than Jennifer.
Bears007 says, I like how peaceful the town looks as here in the UK we now have a problem with homeless everywhere as the UK government in all their wisdom decided to decriminalize homelessness. Not good.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of homeless here. Well, at least not a lot of places where you see them hanging out. I don't know if in the United States, I don't know if we decriminalized homelessness or we just stopped enforcing the law. I think we probably stopped enforcing the law. That seems to be, in the United States, we don't really decriminalize stuff. It's just if the powers to be don't think it's a good law, then they just don't enforce it. I think that seems to be the way we go. But you get more of that, I think, in the bigger cities. California is a little warmer weather.
Bears007 says, I've got a plan to leave the UK, as if I get an Irish passport it allows me to live and work in any European country, so I will go to Norway as it's a much better country.
Oh yeah, like once you get in one of those countries that's part of the EU, right? You can go anywhere. So before the UK left the EU, you would have been able to do that, right? Isn't that true?
Bears007 says, yes, I can go to any EU country, then Poland, Estonia, and Lithuania are good too. Bears007 says, yes, true, Craig, the Brexit vote really messed everyone up here.
Yeah, because it seems like I had a friend that I used to talk to a lot in Romania, and it seems like if you're in that EU, you can kind of like move around Europe like we move around the United States. Which is pretty cool.
says yeah they can go anywhere they want, so basically 5,000 miles of free movement. The UK really shot itself in the foot as now all our food prices have gone up and businesses are closing down.
Yeah, I don't claim to know a lot about European politics, but I know it's complicated, right? Because there are a lot, if you're part of the EU, don't you have to like comply with a lot of EU stuff? It's almost like if one of our states decided to leave the Union. You don't have to worry about the federal government anymore, but you gotta be able to survive on your own.
Says yeah that's the only problem is if you are part of the EU then the EU can make any new law they want without asking the people, but from my experience before 2016 the UK was way better.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm sure there are pros and cons on both sides of it.
Says I have lost $4,000 since then as it's now nearly impossible to save up any cash due to every job being part-time and we have to rely on government to top up the wages through welfare.
Yeah, but that's sort of happening at almost everywhere. I mean, I think I don't know if it's a whole lot better here. I think our inflation is coming down, but it was pretty bad there for a while. There's always been stuff though. I mean, you know, like I think about the fact that there's always some kind of struggle. I mean, I remember growing up, and I can't even imagine this today. I remember growing up, and there was a time when there was a gas shortage. So supposedly, we were all led to believe that the world was running out of oil. So we all had to, I mean, it was kind of crazy. So there were gas lines, you know, we had issues getting, oh look, there's a bunch of deer on the right-hand side there. But I remember gas lines, like literally, you would sit in your car for hours. And then they got to the point where you could only get gas on days when your license plate ended with an odd or an even number. So like you had odd and even days, and if your license plate wasn't the appropriate number for that day, you couldn't buy gas that day. I mean, so I mean, there's always been something going on. People kind of look back and always think it was wonderful back in the old days, and I totally enjoyed my childhood. Like, I am very grateful for the period that I grew up in. Extremely grateful, but it wasn't all. There were definitely issues that we had to deal with, and they just sort of fade out a little bit as time goes by.
Sayers007 says, cool deer, and yeah, Craig, I've watched old videos of that gas crisis. That's why in the early 80s the Aspersion 8 engines were basically banned and most cars were turbocharged 4 cylinders, lol.
Yeah, that's what happened here. Everybody was supposed to get a tiny little car, and I mean, it worked for a while. Everybody, cars were getting smaller, all that kind of. Now it's weird if you have a car. Now everybody has an SUV. So I don't know it's so funny when you look back at what happened, We go from this, oh my goodness, we're going to run out of oil. Everybody's got to stop driving. That's why our speed limits were all reduced to 55 miles per hour. For many years, we had a 55 mile an hour speed limit on all highways. And then eventually, people are just like, no, enough of this. We got oil. And we want a big car, and we want to drive as fast as we want. So here we are. We're back to 70, 75 mile an hour speed limits, SUVs. So then the oil shortage didn't work. So then we went to climate change.
Holla says, I am glad I grew up when I did, but then again I am still growing up.
Yeah.
Sayers007 says, yeah, in most states people driving those huge Dodge Rams or F-150 pickup trucks. Here in the UK everyone's driving sub-electric cars. Those things are crazy fast, 3 seconds to 60 miles an hour long.
Yeah, that is the really cool thing about electric cars. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Because the one thing I love about a car is if it accelerates quickly. Man, I have this guy, speaking of accelerating quickly, I have a guy riding right, I'm going almost, well, let's just say I'm exceeding the speed limit by a significant amount right now, okay? And I have a guy riding right on my tail. Like, you can't even see him. Look in the mirror. See this guy, like, right on my butt? And I'm flying. I'm not going to admit how fast I'm going over the speed limit, but it's significant. And this guy is right on my bumper. Actually, I think it's a lady. If I remember correctly, she would. Whoa, 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 whoa! What?
Sayers007 says, lol, he wants to go at high speed, lol.
I know, he's right on my butt.
Q7 says, in 1973 to 1974 gas went from 35 to 45 cents, then to 90 cents. We thought, what are we going to do?
I know. Now it jumps by 30 cents a day sometimes. Anyway, so I've got this car right on my butt, and did you see that truck pull out in front of me? Like, I couldn't even slam on my brakes without this guy. This is an interesting ride. a very interesting ride.
Air007 says that was nearly a James Dean moment there. Maybe apply the brakes, Craig, as that will slow them down.
Yeah. True. Sometimes you just have, the best thing to do is to just pretend like they're not there. I mean, it's really their problem. Yeah.
7L says maybe just piss him off.
Yeah, like just slow down. Well, see, if I slow down, I think he'll pass me. I should get down to the speed limit. See what he does.
Air007 says when I have a car right up behind me, what I do is look for turn off and pull over, then go behind them and tailgate. Haha, as they don't like that. Tuber Chat says word up. Now Donna says or get a bumper sticker. Toxic keep back.
Hey, Tuber.
Tuber Chat says shared on Reddit.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Chris Air007 says hello at Tuber Chat and at Donaku594. Now Holla says I saw that. I was hoping you saw the truck too. What was that driver looking at pulling out in front of you?
I know. Of course. Now, here's the thing about that truck. I can't totally blame the truck because...
Holla says good morning, Kevin.
Because I will admit that we were going faster than we should have been going. So if I was going the appropriate speed, that might not have been quite as close. But yeah, he shouldn't have pulled out in front of me. Well, now the guy's kind of backed off. I think because he sees that I have these two cars in front of me now, so...
Man Q7L says I drive 7 to 8 over. Highway patrol friend said over 9 you are mine. Lol.
I think that
Chat says at Mountainman-Q7L at Chrisires007 at Holla 6448 at Donaku594 hello.
I think that's true. I think that's true about the I never go 10 mile, well, I can't say never because I just did it, but I try to avoid going more than 9 is actually right, because once you hit 10 miles over the speed limit, you're going to definitely get a ticket. And what happens is when this road, it drops from 50 to 40 a couple of times.
Air007 says I had it happen to me once and I actually somehow split a van in half driving my old Honda Accord. I was doing 85 in a 50 zone and hit a tree too, but I tell ya those old Hondas were tough. I was okay all.
Oh my goodness.
Air007 says cheers at Tuber Chat.
That's...
Now Holla says doesn't matter. And with that tailgater, could have been bad. Dollars to donuts that could have been bad.
Yeah, it would have been. I know. Well, I was kind of ready to swerve to the right if he didn't speed up. Like he got out enough that I could have probably gotten around to the back. At least that's what I had in my head at that moment.
Chat says in Canada we're on kilometers, so it's perfectly fine to do 40 to 50 over the limit.
What?
Chris Air007 says it was one of those old transit vans, must have had bad rust for my car to slice it like a knife through butter, haha.
40 to 50? That's a lot though. Isn't it? It's not. So 40 to 50. 40 kilometers is like almost, Isn't that like 20 miles per hour? Isn't 40 kilometers per
Chat
hour?
says kidding. Lol.
Okay. You had me going there for a minute. I'm like,
Chris Air 007 says lol at Tuber Chat. That's like 20 miles an hour.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was just doing that in my head. I'm like, wait a minute. That's a lot. That's funny. I remember when I was little, we drove up to Canada a few times. Like we go to Niagara Falls and go up through, usually went to Toronto and stuff like that. But my mom would be driving and she would always we'd think it was really cool that we were going like 100, because it was 100 kilometers per hour. I think she liked telling us. She liked telling us she was going 100.
There 007 says craziest thing I had was I was behind a car and it stopped and the dude got out like angry and I had to swerve around him. Got to next traffic light, he got out again and I had to drive fast away long. Now Holla says the first time I went to Canada I saw the 90 speed limit sign and I thought, wow, this is a great country.
Did you go 90 miles per hour while you were up there? I wonder if they had that. I wonder if that happens. Like, do people drive up from the United States if it's their first time and they don't know what they're doing and they go like miles per hour instead of kilometers? I bet that happens. You got to be careful though with people like road rage type people. I had somebody one time, it was one of those cases where they were tailgating me and I started slowing down and then they got in front of me. I think we may have, when they passed me, I was on a highway, a 3-lane.
Says I think it does. Chris Air 007 says Canadians are friendly people, just don't mention the 51st state law. Chris Air 007
That's a good
says,
point.
well, you got the UK roundabouts there.
That's true. I think so we were on a 3-lane highway and I was in the middle lane. It was very heavy traffic and this guy was right on my tail. And I started slowing down, and he got really mad at me. And so he passed me, and as he went by, we both exchanged some pleasant gestures. And then he got in front of me, and he stopped. Like we were in traffic on a 3-lane highway in the middle lane, and he got in front of my car and stopped. And we just sat there for a couple of minutes. And I actually got very nervous. I thought he was going to maybe jump out of the car. He didn't. But you do have to watch people, because sometimes they can get a little carried away if they get...
Paula says yes. Road rage doesn't usually end well.
No.
Even if nothing violent happens, why let it affect your blood pressure or the rest of your day?
Exactly. It's very stressful. I mean, I have to admit, I was pretty scared at that point. Well, because I was also worried about, like, people behind me you know, you're stopped in the middle of the highway, it's very likely that you're going to get hit from behind in a situation like that. All right, it's only 6:15, so this is good. We should be okay. Yeah, road rage is a real thing, and you don't know what people have in their cars around in the U.S. You know. All right, let's see if the donuts are ready.
There's 007 says I think you need to be careful in the States as you guys got firearms, whereas worst that can happen in the UK is someone jumps out with a knife. Now Morgan says good morning. Chris Ayers 007 says at Morgan L2225 good morning, welcome in.
Oh, Morgan.
Now Holla says good morning, Morgan.
Morgan, you're like this, you know, Janet's making the donuts. Did you know this? We're here to get the WhatADay donuts. I'm gonna take you guys in. We'll check on them first. All right, bringing everybody in. Morgan's on here too, by the way.
Who, Morgan?
Morgan.
Tell her to come on in.
Morgan says no, I was gonna ask.
I'm still here.
Did you do them?
Look at her beautiful
I'm
work.
almost done.
You're almost done with WhatADay?
WhatADay is done.
WhatADay is done.
WhatADay is over here. They're all done.
This is WhatADay. Check it out.
Look at that.
Oh man.
Skilled.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They should be asking if
There's
I can work full time.
007 says good morning, folks. Now Holla says Craig would jump out with a donut and say what's the problem.
Look at that. That looks good, Janet. I like it. I like it.
I tried my best.
Now she's going to do the,
There's some
Now I have to do cream.
Danish.
Now I have to do the cream filter.
So we got 162 here.
Well, you better count them. Math was not my strong suit. There should be. I checked them off the list as I did them.
Okay. All right.
There's 007 says amazing donuts. They are way bigger than what we have in the UK. Now says beautiful. Now Morgan says I'll be in soon. Ha ha ha. Still waking up. Ha ha.
Morgan's waking up.
yeah.
Morgan says she's waking up.
Awesome. Awesome.
So you're just going to cut it.
All right. I'm going to let you guys get back in the van.
Thanks,
I got to load up the van. Oh, you know what I could do? I'll put you on the van until I come back.
Holla says Janet, this is not what most retired people do on a Saturday morning. Chris Ayers 007
I know, but I'm retired too. What is wrong with us? All right, let's see. I'm going to be there. So I'll put you guys here. All right, keep an eye on the door. We are open now. We open at 6. All right, let me go here. All right. I'm still mic'd up.
Freeze free.
162 donuts.
Lala Holla 6,448. When I retire, I am gonna be sleeping all day. Haha.
Not Janet. She's a worker. She is a worker. Well, now wait a minute.
That's,
How many days have you been at the beach this summer? Huh?
I've been working hard.
All right, so everything on this rack, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You need the slip?
I got the slip. No, I don't need that, actually. Thank you.
Morgan says I cannot confirm. I will be the most chipper today. Billy Lol.
All right, coming out with a tray.
Holla says isn't that on her page? Every day is Saturday or something like that.
Yeah.
Chris Ayers 007 says yeah, Janet doing an awesome job.
But what she doesn't have is that what she does on those Saturdays. All right, let me get this. Oh, you know what? I might have to use that. All right. Let me get my. There's 20 on a tray, so we need to get to 162. 20. So she didn't put an even 20 on every one. So I need 2 for that one. 20, 40, 60. Remember that we're 2 short so far. 60, 80. $20, 40, 60, 80, 100 minus 2. So we're 98 plus 18. What's 98 plus 18? Or well, we're 4 short. 20. So we're at 116. Oh man, now look at this. Now I gotta be counting them. 16, 14, 18, 20.
Holla says don't talk bad about Janet.
24,
She may be
26,
listening. Chris Ayers 007
30.
says watch out for the donut people.
I think we're at 30 there. 130. 130 plus 30.
Now Donna says did not know there would be math.
36, 38, 40, 42, 42. And that would be, they're too tall, 42. So I need 20 more, and I've only got 18 on this tray. Unless I got 2 donuts somewhere else. 6. I don't want to be like missing 2 donuts, you know what I mean? If I go in there and I say, I think I'm missing 2 donuts, I think Janet's going to just shoot me. Alright, so that's all good. So that is hang on. I'm pulling out the calculator because I can't remember all these numbers. So that has 18.
There's 007 says at Donaku 594 lol, yeah, I have a headache now, haha.
18. Okay, I'm doing the calculator. Plus 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 plus 18 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 18 plus 20. 162. Okay. She's right. I got him. 162. All right. So let's strip. put these in. I should go in there and say I'm 2 donuts short. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm 2 donuts short. But I don't know which ones. Not really.
Seriously?
No.
I was like, oh my
I thought I
God.
was. When I first did it, I'm like, oh my God, am I really 2 donuts short? Then I went back over it.
Oh my God.
You look lazy, wouldn't you?
Woo!
That's what I figured. Yeah, I was gonna. If it was, I was just gonna put 2 donuts.
Disaster. You gotta see.
There's 007 says, Morgan says don't mess with. Holla says, I wake up pretty early in the morning to find Janet made a mistake, especially on. There's 007 says, yeah, Janet number.
Janet, you did it. You did it.
Craig, I should not be here in the bakery. I'm 3rd string, if not 4th string.
Hey, but you're
When
number.
they call me in, you know they're definitely.
You're 1st string today, Janet. All right.
Next girl up.
I'll be back. All right, guys. We are on our way. Let's just take, oh look, 6:30. This is perfect. I wanted to be going by 6:30. We got it. Let's put Rosie up. Here we
There's
go.
007 says cool
Seatbelt.
beans.
Seatbelt on, lights off, reverse, watch out for people. Yeah, it's not the...
Holla says, I think Janet deserves a fancy coffee or 3 for doing a great job.
something, right? All right, here we go. Here we go, off to WhatADay. So I've got 162 donuts. We got 6 cinnamon buns, 6 large...
Morgan says, I'm hoping to be there at 8 o'clock.
Not bad, not bad. If you want to start on trays, wash the... Kidding. Kidding. Oh. Well, that was exciting. I mean, that's a pretty good sized day, too. That's not like a... It's not an easy day. Fuel light has come on. Uh-oh. Now we got to make sure we got enough. No, we do. We do.
Morgan says only if you do my early cake orders.
No, it's okay. I don't think the customers would appreciate my artistic skills on cake decorating. What is it? 65 degrees. It's still cool out. I mean, I'm really liking this for whatever reason. I don't know what's happening, why our weather has been so pleasant. Oh, look, I got that set up. They've got like a party set up there at that house.
There's 007 says I could not work in a bakery. It would be like torture looking at those delicious cakes and donuts. Lol, I would be in much trouble from doing a Homer Simpson.
I know.
Now Holla says I see the inner dynamics of the bakery team now. You with your accounting financial background and Janet with baking skills.
Janet with baking skills. Janet's main strength is human resources. She was a major human resource person. But that translates to donuts. But yeah, you're right. I'm still with numbers. I'm still all about the numbers. I was listening to or watching somebody talk about being older, and like that. I think he was calling it the third season. Like
now, Holla says I saw it firsthand the way you counted the donuts. Now Morgan says, and then you have a grumpy cake decorator who also answers the phone. Now Donna says I was a fraud investigator, so suspicious of people.
Ah. That would have that effect. That definitely would have that effect. It's interesting though. This guy was talking about how, as being an older person, he saw himself in his, I think he was saying the third season. Like the first season of your life is when you're young, you're youth, you're growing up, you don't really, you know, and then the second season is when you're kind of like in that.
Paula says maybe we solved the saying today. To you the way you used to count dollars, now you count donuts. It makes sense.
Dollars to donuts. That's what happened. I've lived the dollars to donuts.
There's 007 says at Donaku 594 fraud investigation is a hard job now as I can also many documents. Now Donna says very sensitive of something not being right.
Yeah, that's true. That's very interesting though. I think that's an interesting field. Oh, Donna, I was talking about that tape, the cassette tape that I found where I was talking about, I was 18 years old. I just listened to this a couple days ago. Holla, this is a result of my search for the cassette tape that had the beginning of TV shows on it. So I found that tape, and I'm working on that one. I had an issue with that tape, but I'm going to fix that one. But I listened to a 30-minute tape I had where I was 18 years old, and it was like a journal, right? Instead of writing it, because I usually would like write down some of my thoughts occasionally, not every day, but I did it on a tape.
Holla says yes. It was custom made for you, that saying. You need to get it painted onto your car.
I know, it's sort of like my life. But I listened to this recording, and Donna, I thought about you watching your court TV cases. In that tape that I made 40 years ago or whatever, I said that one of the new shows that had just come out that I really liked was People's Court. And I was saying, you know, how I like the way, I forget what the guy's name is. I think I said it on the tape, but remember the guy that used to like stand out in the hall and talk to the people when they came out, and they'd also introduce like what the case was about. I mean, they were very simple trials, but I thought that was funny because apparently that had just started recently, and I mentioned it in that tape that it was one of the shows I liked watching when they went to
Donna
People's
says
Court.
Judge Wapner.
Yep, Judge Wapner, exactly. Now
Holla says, oh, cool, that was a good show. Free Judge Judy.
Yeah.
Breeze says, I'm glad I woke up long enough to hear the cassette tape story. It's so relaxing, I'm fighting to stay awake.
It was a really good, it's a good tape. I don't know what I'm going to do with it now, but my dog, I talked about my dog laying on the sofa. It was the first dog I ever had. He was 10 years old at the time. Got him when I was 9.
Donna says, and those shows are still on now. Many of them.
I know. I mean, now they have, I've seen, well, Judge Judy was good, but now they have some other people that do that now too. There's a lot of people, I think. Breeze, what are you up to? Have you been dashing?
Breeze says, do you have any good 8-track stories? Now Holla says, I am surprised the cassette still works. I feel like I should dig up my old tapes.
The cassette tapes, actually, they're in pretty good shape.
Holla says yes, so many court shows.
The tape I was looking for, the only problem I have with that tape is where the recording, you know, the recording piece of tape is brown, like the material that it records on is brown, but it has like a feeder at the beginning of it. In this particular one, that's like a blue piece of tape. It basically attaches.
007 says at Nukim C, hello, good morning.
So the blue tape attaches to the wheel, and then the brown tape, which is used for the recording, attaches to that blue tape. Well, it broke where that, because I think it's glued. Like, it looks like there's probably a spot where it was glued, But when I rewound it, it broke. That glue broke. So I have to fix that. But the tape itself is actually in pretty good
says
shape.
Good morning to you at ChrisIers007.
So my cassette tapes have survived. The one thing I am going to fix the tape. It's from 1975, by the way. I started my TV show recording.
Holla says I hope you broke the tab off so you don't accidentally tape over it.
Yeah, no, I don't know, but you're right. I do know that about the tab. That's funny. You know what I had to do though? This brought back memories. I had to take
Bree says, did you ever own a Betamax?
I had to take like a pencil and put it in that thing to turn the wheel. You know what I mean? So that the wheel would, because I had to wind it back up after it broke. No, I didn't have a Betamax. I didn't even have an 8-track either. My brother did. My older brother had 8-track tapes. He had one in his room and he had one in his car. Now my older brother is 10 years older than me. So he had an 8-track tape, but we started with the cassettes. Funny thing though is...
Paula says, I am sorry, good morning Mookie. I was wrapped up and engaged in the tape chronicle.
Well, in the tape where I'm recording the theme songs of my TV shows, that started in 1975. The tape says I wrote 1975, 76, and 77, so I must have done that over a course of a few years. But I started in 1975. So the first...
Bree says good morning. At Holla 6448, that is totally understandable.
The first part of the tape where I introduce it, it's me talking, but I'm like, in 1975, I was probably, depending on what time of year, I would have been 11 or 12 years old. So it's a little embarrassing because my voice is like, I'm like, and this is my tape from the beginning of the TV shows that I really like. Like, oh my God, I sound kind of stupid. At least in the other tape is from 1982 that I listened to. I did this on
There's 007
Thursday.
says cheers at Mookie C.
I listen to these on Thursday, by the way. But
Music.
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I never had an 8-track. I just did cassette.
Bree says, let me know if you have a tape of an episode of the TV show. Here's Boomer. It is very rare.
Like I'm pretty sure I don't have that. Really? I have an audio tape of some, I don't know if it was Watergate, it was something Nixon related. And then I have what else happened in 1982? Oh, in my 1982 tape, and that's a half an hour. So I talked for a half an hour. I know that you're probably finding that hard to believe, but I also mentioned that we were going within a couple of weeks after that tape was made. I was going to we were going to get cable TV. I was pretty excited because we were going to get cable TV. So I was trying to picture myself. I'm sitting in my house. I'm 18 years old. This was before I had ever had cable TV. And that was a whole different world ago. It's so crazy when I think about it. I mean, that back then, you know, like a fancy calculator was high technology.
Bree says a treasure trove of historic information.
It was. It was. One of my dogs was laying on the sofa. His name was Schroeder. And then my other dog was behind the TV. And this was back when the TV was a console. It was a piece of furniture.
Holla says these tapes should be in a time capsule. Were you able to find out what was inside that one by the school?
No, I haven't found that out yet. I have to go to the library. I think I'm going to go to the library and ask them. Either that, or if they don't have it, I'm going to try to go to the school. Like, I don't think there was anybody in the school. Like the administrators, I didn't see them there because it's, I guess, summer break. But if the library doesn't have it, I would think the school might. Somebody's got to know.
Bree says little Craig could hardly expect Big Craig to achieve what he has accomplished.
Well, you think about it. When you're like 18 years old, you really don't know what's going to happen in your life. At the end of the tape, I did say that I thought it was kind of, I forget exactly how I worded it, but I suggested that maybe I'll listen to this tape when I'm 40 years old. And I'm sure in my mind, when I was 18, I thought that was really old. I'm going to try to. I mean, I can't. I've got the ability to digitally record what's on the cassette
you could
tape.
easily turn it into a multi-part YouTube special. Now Holla says, see, we didn't have fancy calculators then, and now we can successfully count donuts. Let's see these kids in 40 years do what you can in your head.
They'll probably have something in their head. Oh, well, maybe they'll have some kind of device planted in their head, probably. It's true, though. You realize how we've memorized a lot more stuff. We really did memorize a lot more things, math-wise. Like, you realize it when you go to the store and somebody has to give you change. And it can be challenging sometimes. like, imagine if I had told my 18-year-old self that I would be able to drive a car and I would have a phone. I didn't even know what a cell phone was at that point.
Air007 says, I remember the old shopkeeper from my childhood. Before he would give me the change, he always made me do the math first to work out how much change I needed back lol. Now Freak
Well, that
says,
was
I'm
good.
still not sure how you calculate the circumference of a donut, but I think, ironically, it involves pi. Now Holla says you go to a store and pay cash. What, you just blew my mind, man, lol.
Not often. Not often, but it happens. It trips people up. Yeah, that would have been before cell phones. So to get from there to where we are now.
Morgan says, I don't remember much from school, but I do remember how to find the area of a triangle. Not sure when I'll ever need that, but I have it. Chris Air007 says, at Mooking C pi goes round the Dugnut 3 and 1/7 times lol.
Depends on what kind of pie. Key lime pie is my favorite pie. I like pumpkin pie. Key lime pie.
Breeze says, people in this chat are just showing off now. Now Donna says, what if you told your 18-year-old self that you would be driving talking to people all over the world?
I know, that's
now
what I'm
Holla
thinking.
says pizza pie. Now Morgan says, I hope everyone has a great day. Atlas needs eardrops and I have to go make some cakes.
All right. See you later.
Chris Airs007 says lol.
I know, though. Seriously, Donna, that's true. I mean, it would have been like some kind of joke. I mean, if you told somebody in 1982 that they could be driving along in a car, talking to people from all over the world on their
Air007 says, at Morganell2225, see you soon, enjoy your weekend.
on their
Now
phone.
Bree says, take care, at Morganell2225. Now Holla says, that's as amazing, Donna, and we just take it for granted.
I know. And you're on a phone that has a camera that has real-time video. It's insane. If you think about it, it really is pretty crazy. What? I mean, so much has happened.
Air007 says, I remember when the first iPhone came out and my sister showed me it. I had to figure out how the heck to use the touchscreen as it was alien to me as I was used to the old Nokia dumb phones lol.
Yeah, with the keys. Yep. Yep. Remember Blackberries? I had a Blackberry once for work. I think they were mostly work. You know, like used in a business environment, I think. I remember pagers. Remember pagers? Like you didn't really, it was before cell phones. But you would...
Air007 says, yep, what's your BBM lol?
Remember pagers? Yeah. I used to make a monthly trip up to New York for work. And they would give me a pager. I think there's police cars sitting there.
Bree says, am I the only one who thinks Craig would still be talking like this even if there was no YouTube or internet? Chris Ayers 007 says pagers before my time. That's more late 80s tech, I think. Now Holla says you would think you were talking about some donut delivering hero Craig.
Yeah, but if there was no YouTube, I would probably be recording it on a cassette that I could listen to 40 years later. Actually, 44 years later, right? I made that tape in August of 1982. But I was really tape recording stuff like in the 70s. Most of my tapes, I think, are from the 70s. Maybe I should ride along with a cassette recorder and just record. All right, what did I do?
Holla says I still have my pagers and all the accessories, the chain, case and stuff.
Do you really?
Chris Ayers 007 says before YouTube I actually used to upload videos to Dailymotion as that site was around since like 2002. I used to have to figure a way to upload the MP4 file to my PC and it took ages.
I don't remember what I did before YouTube. I mean, I used to take film, but they were on VHS tapes or the smaller versions of VHS later. All right, they're not coming to the door, so let me call. I'm going to tell them I've been sitting out here for 15 minutes. I'm not. Seven o'clock, see? This is as late as I ever want to get here.
Hello, thank you for choosing WhatADay.
Hey, it's Craig with the bakery. I'm out back.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah, it's Craig with the bakery. I'm out back.
Okay, perfect. I'll move you right out there.
All right, thank you. All right. All right. Let's get this delivery going.
Bree says it is amazing how much time it took to do anything, and now I can't find time to do anything.
No problem. All right, let's go. I know, think about it. Does this mean that we're all getting like a whole lot more stuff done? I guess that's what that means, right? All right, let me go get the tray. Rack. Off the tray. Good morning. How are you? I'm good. All right. Knocked over the little caution, wet floor.
Notifications off.
these. Put them in the back. Put them in the back.
Holla says, what the heck is in that bag hanging off the electric pipe in front of the...
Are you, I don't know what that is. It looks like a... Are you behind? Because the camera's been moved. I don't know what you'd be looking at unless you're behind slightly. All right, there are Danish's cinnamon buns, cronuts, and mini Danish. I'm going to put them down here and see if we fill the rest in with donuts. See, look, I didn't smile. I didn't smile just then.
Says too much information all the time, at ChrisIR007. Now Donna says I still have an old Zenith in my living room. You can see, yeah, it gets my anxiety on edge. The worst thing is social media, Facebook, etc. That constant scrolling is brainwashing people. Now Donna says I am just a slow typer at times. Now Steve says, or maybe at Holla 6,440 says the chocolate donuts look amazing.
I'm trying to keep up.
Now Holla says Mookie.
Now these are the regular glaze. These are the easiest ones. Janet probably looked at this tray and said, "Oh man, I got a break." It's not that it's not as difficult to decorate a glazed donut as it is Fruity Pebbles or chocolate glazed. Look at the chocolate right here, just oozing off of this thing. Watch. I just want to look at that chocolate right there. Just wait a minute. Am I in the right spot? There we go. That's the one I wanted right there. Look at that son of a gun. Anyway. M&M's. A few more glazed. Strawberry. Look at the jellies just oozing out of this. They're not that easy either. I want to show you guys how they make one of the filled donuts. They have a machine for that, and I think that's kind of interesting. I'll put that up there.
We have the Nutella donuts here, but in the UK our donuts are like half the size for some weird reason. Maybe they can make more money that way. There's 007 says, yeah, the chocolate ones are awesome.
All right. All right, I'll be right back. What that bag is. Good morning. All right, guys. Have a good day.
Front door open.
Front door open. Okay. Deliveries complete. So our last thing is going to be to get some gas because we are low. Check it out. I'm hoping to make it. Look, we got an emergency situation here. Emergency! Maybe I should turn the air conditioner off. Can you imagine if I run out of gas on the way home? That wouldn't be good. Actually, we went down a lot really fast. I am turning the air conditioner off. All right.
There's 007 says lol.
I wasn't even watching that, really. All right, we got nobody behind us. Here we go. All right, let's get some gas. I don't know what we're going to pay today. Let's see if we can keep it under $4 a gallon. That would be super. Most of the gas stations around are 404, 405. Ooh. Up there's Steve. There's that guy that I talk about every day. He's here drinking his coffee every day. Every day. Now we know the car. So apparently, you know what I want? I want the fan on.
There's 007 says at Gideonet you did awesome job. Now Holla says you do great work Janet. I voted for Craig to bring you some fancy coffee drinks for your efforts.
Oh, is she on? Is Janet on with us now? I think we'll make it to the gas station. Maybe I should have stopped at Highs. No, this is it. Everybody, hold your breath, everybody. Look. They're really, I think we got enough. We got a little.
Janet says thanks at Chris.
There's a little, oh, Janet's on. Are you done? Did you finish?
Janet says, and yes, at Holla, I do deserve some fancy coffee. This was hard work.
Are you still at the bakery, Janet, or did you go?
There's 007 says at Gideonet you're most welcome. Now Janet says I'm wrapping up now. Just about 12 more donuts to go. Now Donna says turn the air off to conserve gas.
I did. I think we got this. I think we got it. I'm a little nervous, mainly because I didn't realize it went down that fast. But we got this. We got it. I gotta get to the BJ's.
There's 007 says, Craig, I let my gas drop that low every day. Haha, as gas is very expensive, $7 a gallon in the UK.
What?
Reese says, I can't wait to hear the cassette episode where Craig runs out of gas. I will probably have to wait for 40 years. Now Holla says, but it did make me question your everyday is Saturday when retired. I didn't think it involved waking up before dawn and making 100s of donuts.
Well, it's a new way to retire. Now, here's my you know, we were talking about like the 1970s and the gas shortage and all that stuff, 55 mile an hour. But like when I think about the fact that I need to conserve fuel, that 55 mile an hour
I didn't think it did either at Holla, but I'm
speed
here
limit.
to support when needed. Chris Ayers 007 says it works out around 2.25 a liter here, lol, everything expensive, and in the EU countries, I kid you not, gas is like $9 a gallon.
That's almost like most of the states are probably around $4 now, four and a half. But
Bree says the new way to retire involves work, it seems.
yeah, but I think it's good to keep doing something. You got to do something. I did, at least.
Holla says, doesn't the van tell you how many miles you can go with the gas left?
I don't think so. It doesn't.
There's 007 says, got OT, at least have a hobby too, as I play guitar, been doing that over 20 years to keep my sanity, lol.
That's kind of neat. I wish I could play the piano. That's the instrument I wanted to play. Because I want to be like one of those people that can just walk up to a piano and start playing it. Like you're in the middle of the, like, you know how they'll have a piano at the, they used to have them in some department stores. Some of the whoop-de-doo department stores would have a person playing the piano. Yeah, we definitely got this on the gas.
Holla says, you're a good person, Janet, and you make a heck of a donut. Chris Ayers 007 says piano is hard to play. Guitar is pretty easy if you have the dexterity.
Oh, really? Do you think the guitar is easier than the piano? Maybe I should go for easy. Or the tuba. Maybe I want to
Bree
play.
says, I believe in you and the power of confectionaries, at Gideonet.
Those donuts really did look good, Janet. I mean, I would not have known that they were made by somebody for the first time.
There's 007 says, yes, as with guitar you don't need to learn to read music. With piano you need to know a lot of music theory, and that stuff is hard, as I had to go to college for 2 years to learn it.
Oh.
Now Donna says, in my experience guitar is difficult. Now Holla says, you probably used excess gas when you were hot-footing it trying to outrun the tailgater lady.
It's
now
possible.
Janet says, oh thanks everyone.
I probably did use too much gas when I was, because I was going fast. Well, thank goodness it's a 65-degree morning. I mean, I don't really need the air conditioner.
There's 007 says, at Donahue 594 it's different. I learned how to play guitar in 1 day, I'll take basic chords, so as natural it is.
1 day? Did you say you learned to play the guitar in 1 day? That sounds very impressive. How about the drums? Are the drums easy? That looks like a fun one.
Donna says, but you're right, you don't need to read music. Now Holla says, I have 3 guitars, a keyboard, and an accordion, and I don't know how to play any of them.
Are they sitting under your Christmas tree? I want to learn how to play the bagpipes. No, not really. I did. I know I've said it.
There's 007 says, yeah, but I paid a professional musician a lot of money to show me, haha, and he was professional. Bob Tidor was his name. He was a session player in London for Dire Straits in the 80s. Now Breeze says we should all put the stream on 1.5 or 2x so Craig can get to the gas station faster. Now Donna says, but takes a while to build up calluses. Chris Ayers 007 says bagpipes would get the neighbors knocking, lol hash. Now Holla says that shut off the AC to save gas doesn't really apply in most cars anymore. Now Holla says yes, bagpipes are cool. Chris Ayers 007 says lol at Mukim C.
The drums seem to be easier.
There's 007 says most new cars have that stop-start tech to save gas.
Oh, yeah. I turn that off though. I don't like that. I don't like it when the car stops when you hit or the engine stops. Well, basically the car stops. I have to hit a button every time I start my car. I have to hit a button to turn that off. Or when I come up to a light and I stop, I'm like, oh, what's happening? Why is my car still out? It doesn't seem like that's good for the car. Like, is that actually good for the engine to be constantly turning itself
There's
on and off?
007 says it wears the starter out faster.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. It seems like it. And the battery, right? I mean, isn't that kind of a strain on the battery to start the car?
Holla says drums in general or drums in bagpipe bands. BRE__ bathroom says car goes room.
Oh, we're definitely going to make it. We're definitely going to make it.
007 says lol at BRB__ bathroom.
Bathroom break. You're going to go to see a man of $1 to donuts. You're going to go see a man about a horse.
There's 007 says lol just gonna make it.
To the bathroom? Or to the gas station? Which topic are we talking about?
Bree says, do you know how to use a manual transmission?
No, I do not. I think I tried to learn it once, but I didn't put a lot of effort into it. So I have actually driven a manual transmission car. Long time ago. But I wasn't really, so I guess I can't say I wasn't successful. I was successful. I did it, but I didn't like it. Look, we just passed another gas station. Be really bad if we get stuck at the bottom of this hill.
There's 007 says lol the bathroom is that person's username haha. Now Breeze says it's easier than the bagpipes. Now Holla says if you did run out I am sure Janet could rescue you before she starts her day.
The bathroom is somebody's username? Really? If that's true, I'm very impressed.
There's 007 says I drive a manual and yes it is hard work. Advantage is you have more control over the car and can rev all the way to the red line lol. BRB __ bathroom says yep.
It is somebody's name. Oh, I like that name. I like.
There's 007 says lol at BRB __ bathroom.
I love that name. Oh my goodness. All right, our girl is not here today. She's not here today. Where are we gonna go? Let's go over here.
There's 007 says it is a genius name they got there, Craig haha.
I know. Right?
Would do it but they're narky comments.
Oh look, their posted price. Okay, wait a minute. First of all, why am I making this so much harder than it needs to be? Look, their posted price is $3.82. So I'm gonna get 15 cents off that. So we're like, I don't know how they do it. BJ's gas price is always significantly lower than the rest of the world. I think they must have some kind of
There's 007 says lol at internet. BRB __ bathroom says the internet. Now Holla says Janet and deservedly so.
All right, so how much do you think we're going to put in? So it's the price is $3.82 minus 12 cents. I mean, minus 15 cents. I'm going to guess today's number is $43. That's my guess, $43. All right, so we're paying $3.67. $3.67. Come on. $3.67. There it goes. Over here. All right, I'm 50. No, I don't think 50. I think it's going to be 43. Could be 45. 50 sounds high to me. There's our price, $3.67. That's really not bad today. Maybe I should make that my, whatchamacallit? Other people getting gas. There's a lot happening here today. Got a guy over here cleaning his car off. Oh, we passed 43. And we passed 40. Look. Uh-oh. Wow. Holla. Holy moly.
Everyone, this is the van. 3 donuts. I repeat, 3 donuts.
Holla wins. Wow. We were low, man. We were low. Low. I've never put that much in the van before. Wow. Did you hear that noise? Do you hear this noise? The car? It's that guy that was just cleaning the back of his car.
Now Donna says congratulations, Holla.
Holla is the big winner.
Now Bree says congrats.
I gotta admit, Holla, I thought you were way too high, but you were right on
Holla
it.
says unless you were exaggerating the low level just for drama clicks.
No, I showed you a picture of it. It was low. It was low. Okay, let's
Airs 007 says still cheaper than I pay to fill my little 1.3 liter Fiesta, costs me around $75 in the UK law.
What? That's crazy. You go right ahead there. Go right ahead. $50.
Airs 007 says yep, I may look at an electric car soon, lol. Now Holla says ask that guy to give the van a wipe down.
Yeah, I know. He was cleaning your car. Like, usually I'll do the windows sometimes, but wiping off the trunk lid is taking it to a whole new level. I have so many choices today for thumbnails. Might have to be Janet making the donuts though. I might have to use that
Airs
one.
007 says it was a nice car, a Dodge Charger, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a Dodge Charger. It was a very clean Dodge Charger.
Bree says do you own a bicycle and do you live in a big city? At Chris Ayers 007. Now Holla says it would have been cheaper if you keep that lead foot off the gas pedal.
The donuts need to be moved quickly. I had to get back to the bakery. Every minute counted. I mean, I just made it to WhatADay before 7. That's my goal time. It was close.
Airs 007 says at Mukimsi I live in a rural area so need a car. There is a train station nearby but to get a train ticket costs more than running a car, haha, that is the UK government for ya.
Really? I looked into train prices here. Train prices aren't too bad. On the East Coast, at least. I looked into Philadelphia and Washington. Either direction, I can get pretty good prices. Unless
Bree says how heavy are these donuts? Chris Ayers 007 says yeah, to go 6 miles on a train costs $6 lol.
what? That sounds ridiculous.
Holla says tell it to the judge in traffic court.
The donuts, the cream filled, the Boston cream, cream filled, jelly filled, they're pretty heavy. The lightest ones are the cronuts. They're a little lighter, they're fluffier. And they don't have any...
There's 007 says I will have to upload my ticket to my channel for you, as most people outside of the UK cannot believe how expensive public transport in the UK is law.
Yeah, that seems like not even useful.
Holla says, are you saying Janet Donuts affected MPG on the van?
Well, it's good to make a heavy donut, though. You want your donut to have a little weight.
Says to help lighten the load and save gas in an emergency, eat 20 or so donuts.
Yes, but then the weight would be in me. I mean, if let's say the van weighed exactly 6,000 pounds. No, 4,000 pounds. Let's say the van weighed exactly 4,000 pounds. And I put 100 pounds of donuts into it. And then I got in the van. If I ate 10 pounds worth of donuts, the van is going to weigh the same amount. Right? I would just be transferring the weight from the donut tray to my belly.
Robert Griffin J4B says how many donuts do you make in a day, and how long does it take? Now Holla says $50 for gas. It goes to saying a $100 bill is the 20.
The bakery makes, it varies, can vary, but I would say on average, WhatADay gets 100, maybe on average, say 120. I think the bakery probably has another 100. Probably on a daily basis, the average is somewhere around 200 to 250, maybe. I think that's about right, but it varies quite a bit. Like today, we just did 162 for WhatADay. I don't know how many were in the... How many did you make altogether, Janet? Are you still...
Bree says, but you would go into a sugar coma, have to pull over and shut off the van, thus saving gas. Now Holla says eat 20 then do jumping jacks and push-ups till you puke. That should get you to the next filling station.
Puke or poop, puke or poop. One or the other would work. then you would lose the weight. But then the delivery would
There's
probably be.
007 says lol.
The sky is pretty cool looking this morning. I don't know, can you see that? It's got that like sun, well now they kind of went back. The rays of sun were coming through the clouds in kind of a neat way, I think. I like that. See, I would use that as my thumbnail, but I think I'm gonna have to, I think in honor of Janet, I think we gotta put Janet on the thumbnail today. She's earned it. Janet's got a post. You should have made a video, Janet. You could have done a short.
Now Holla says maybe that should be included the number of donuts successful delivered in your weekly wrap-up.
Ooh, I like that idea. Total donuts delivered. I could make a spreadsheet. Turn it into a graph.
Janet says I should have done a video.
I know.
Bree says congrats, Janet. Prepare to become famous like the horse or a rainbow. Now Janet says I was too busy panicking over what I had to do.
Well, that's understandable.
Janet says lol at Mookie.
I like the
Janet
little...
says I could have gotten more subscribers. Now
I know.
Holla says yes. A day at the donut shop video. Driving there. The whole process. Now Janet says I'm up to 9.
Are you up to 9? Really? Wow. 41 to go, and then you can live stream. 41. Wow, that's pretty impressive. You almost doubled. Well, you know, some of these bakery live stream, I mean not live streams.
Janet says yeah. I asked my brother to subscribe. Haha. Now Donna says Janet impressive that you can jump in and do that. Now Janet says he was number 9.
Number 9. Remember that? That's a Beatles number 9. Number 9.
Holla says you really should have. People love animal and donut videos.
They do like donut videos. They really do. I mean, I've watched some bakery videos where the people have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They do it all, and really they're simple videos. They're just people making donuts, or the guy making a cake. That's a big thing too, the cake decorating.
Holla says number 9, number 9, number 9.
That was a Beetle thing, right? Paul is dead. Look, Janet's car is gone. It's like it never happened.
Breeze says we should do a meetup at the bakery someday. Chris can fly in and it would still probably be cheaper than a train ride or gas tank fill up. Now Holla says food in general. Chris Ayers 007 says at Gideonet I am number 10 now.
Oh, there you go. You got 10 now. You're double digits. That was very nice. All right, you guys. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Thanks for bearing with all the issues.
007 says lol at Mukim C. It would work out cheaper to fly, haha.
It would be.
Now Janet says, Chris, I can't thank you enough.
I think that's probably true. I think that's probably true. I mean, $1 a mile, you can't find transportation that expensive in very many places. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me all through this challenging day. But we made it. What time is it? It's 7:45. Not too bad. I'll be back tomorrow at 6. And should be a quieter day tomorrow. We'll see if Janet's going to be making the
Donna
donuts
says,
tomorrow.
take care all. Chris Ayers 007 says at Gideonet, you're welcome and cheers, Craig. Enjoy your day, everyone.
Yes, you all do
now
the same.
Holla says you're almost a teen, Janet. Yay. Now Breeze says
There
thanks
you go.
for the ride, Craig. Have a good day, everyone.
All right, guys. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you later. Be good. Peace out.